In Thai, pineapple eyes means ta sapalot. It's something my dad used to say to me a lot. And he still says it. You know, a pineapple, it looks as though it has many eyes, right? And the saying goes that with many eyes, you can see the world more fully. I think that's a very wise thing. And that's what we'd like to explore here.
I was born with the name of Mathieu Vincent Saura. My family comes from the south of France with Spanish origins and probably North African origins before that. But I took the name of Vincent Moon around the age of 19, 20 years old, and I've been using it as an artist since then. But so, you can call me Mathieu or Vincent or Moon or any other name. So I don't really mind, because we're all mutating, changing all the time.
Vincent was introduced by a Japanese friend, a mutual friend. And Vincent has a very interesting format. He does this thing called live cinema. He travels extensively around the world and he documents sounds and stories. He finally made it to Thailand and we invited him to be part of our chapters. And he did something that I think is one of the most vivid and in some ways beautiful things I've seen for a while. He's pulling from different footages and weaving the images, beautiful audio.
It's sort of like magical spells that they can really share at specific moments with people in the same room,
He's a brilliant film. I mean, he's not really even like a filmmaker. He's part of it. The way he looks at his medium is as much as the story or whatever he's capturing.
Wonder, I think, have to be for me about something like very childlike, very innocent. First kiss, first look kind of relationship with the world. And I think personally I've been trying to maintain this with different methods. Improvisation, for example, is a very good way to wander. Being water, or basically being carried by the wind. So I've been spending most, if not all, the entire 20 years on the road. I've been trying just to explore what kind of very limited amount of technology you can use in the world to connect in a different way with people and then to share. My creative life has put me really on a very interesting, quite radical, nomadic path of existence. And that has developed my creative work hand in hand, questioning the pertinence of modern forms of gatherings, which means rituals, ceremonies, and so on, Societies around the world have so much to teach us still. There's so much wisdom there, and I've met enough wisdom keepers to tell you that this is exactly what they want us to do. Just about no, you need our help, guys. Yes. So we need to share in a much more conscious way, and hopefully I've been trying to do this away from the market, so I don't sell anything. For me, the question is, how can I really be of any use in that momentum where our generation needs so much to reconnect with each other physically in the space, I think I find a wonder. Yeah, away from a screen. I would say really away from a screen as much as possible. I'm 46 years old now, and I think I'm really trying to spend all my energy and time with people and talking, listening, listening hopefully more than talking. I don't watch films anymore. I listen still a lot of music all the time, true, but mostly live. I don't really read much nowadays, to be honest with you. I dedicate myself maybe for a massive book once a year. And the latest one I read really blew my mind. It's a very important book named The Dawn of Everything by David Graeber. You know, he's the one behind Occupy Wall Street, and David Wengrow, an English archaeologist. Basically, over 700 pages, digging into the history of humankind and realizing we get it a bit wrong, you know? We get it wrong in the sense that we simplify our past, we oversimplify our ancestors. There is always this cliche, you know, from the hunter-gatherer society to the agricultural society to basically the mess we're in. And I think this narration, this very linear narration, is completely contradicted by new findings and so on. And the book is very much about that. I'm very interested about the cyclical nature of reality. And in a sense, I really like the repetition of patterns, you know? The pattern of the birds, the patterns of the wind, the patterns of a shaman's voice, for example. This rounded form of relationship, always the same and always different at the same time. This is the kind of like sonic relationship I'm interested about, to look for it and also to create from it. Yeah. I think we're stuck. The global values of humankind are stuck somewhere. We have a hard time to imagine a better future nowadays. And I think it's very important to re-empower ourselves. And so in that sense, that book, that's what it's doing. It's re-empowering our imagination. Re-empowering us in a sense that we tried so many different things in the past, over a certain period of time, following some very interesting patterns. We were much more complex. So it's very interesting to look back at this and realize that we can actually completely change the way we live nowadays. It's really in our own responsibility to regain that sense, that power, that strength. And I think this is very, very important. And that's also what I'm trying to work around. I come from a culture, French culture, which has been resisting by going down in the streets and raising the voices like that. It's been working for a while, yeah, but I don't think it's working really much anymore. I think we have to redevelop other strategies of resistance, of reimagination of communities, societies. And it's also why I'm just really traveling a lot nowadays to visit people in nature, where they live, where they gather. How do we do it, you know? What did you try? Is it based on ayahuasca? Or is it based on like some other wisdom from the indigenous keepers? Or is this like a completely new thing you're inventing from scratch? Are you anarchist and there is no God? Is there a guru around? But all of this is very interesting. You know, there's not one better possibility than the others. Everything's worth, you know. It's like, okay, try. As long as I think we are conscious of the need to be moving. Still moving. Nothing can get stuck. That's where it gets rotten. That's where a lot of problematic of powers arises and so on. I think have to be, always on the move. I would say I have a physical life. For me, the act of making cinema has always been a sport, you know, an extreme sport. I make many films and I hold my camera by hand. I have no Steadicam device or anything. And so I carry my bags, and I have 2.5 bags to carry on my back all the time. That's just my way. But I think a good way is definitely to have a physical relationship to your everyday life, which means it's not really just doing sports 1 hour every morning. To me, it's really how can you just like integrate this in a sense that you don't really need to do sports, right? If I insist on this so much nowadays, is because of a certain amount of our relationships with reality is being threatened by the machine or by artificial intelligence, or basically call it. This commodity, I think, is impacting a lot, especially on the art level. Making images nowadays is losing its meaning. But what is not losing its meaning is really being together. And the machine is not going to replace this, at least for a very long time, you know? I think this is more important than ever, is really to gather again. And gather in a more conscious way. Micro gatherings where over 3 or 4 days you meet the same people, you exchange, you go deeper in ideas, and then you get out of that with empowered, you know? All the informations are there. Everything is on internet now. It's great. Okay, super. What do we do with that? How do you empower our society? Well, I think you have to be in the same space. Very much. And let's dance together.